Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the kitchen. How are we all doing today? It's been a week from hell. We've had temperatures in the hundreds, and we're in Montreal. We don't get that. But today I want to do something I haven't been able to do in over a year, and that is to go to New York and grab a slice of pizza. Because there's something about something just flew by, and I'm on the third floor. There's something about a New York slice that is just another world. Now, I can't, and most of us can't do the exact same thing because we don't have pizza ovens, but we can come really, really close. And it's such a simple thing. It's just getting that technique right. So, let's flip some cams around and let's get ready to get some cooking done. Alright, so first of all, we have, of course, our dough. Now this is just the same dough I've used every time before. I've just put in a bowl with some oil, let it rise up a little bit. A new piece of equipment, well, it's not new, I've had this thing forever, but it's new that we're using on the channel, is a wire pizza pan. Now, if you don't have one like this, that's fine. If you actually have a pizza stone, even better. But you are going to have to preheat that oven for like 2 hours before you do this. And like here today, where it's 85 degrees, and you have to heat your oven to 525 degrees, I don't want to do that. So I'm going to keep this as simple as possible and with as little cooking as possible. So the reason I have the bowl here is we're going to make a classic pizza sauce for our pizza. So to start off, I just have a little bit of passata or tomato coulis. And because I'm not making a ton of pizza, like for me, we don't need a ton of sauce, because anyone who's had a New York slice knows there's not a ton of sauce. So there I have about a quarter cup, maybe half a cup of tomato coulis. Now if you don't have tomato coulis and you just have tomato sauce, you can use that, but it won't have that same thing. It won't have that same taste. Next, a teaspoon of thyme. I know that's a little different, but trust me, it's in there. Same thing with basil, a teaspoon. This is a very herby sauce. I ran out, so I had to go get some oregano. And guess what? We're going for about a teaspoon. And last but not least, even if you don't like hot things, just add less. But we do have some chili flakes. And this is kind of important because it just helps bring out a lot more of those flavors. So we're just going to give that a stir. Get everything into that sauce. That's it. Don't have to cook it. It's actually going to cook when we bake the pizza. So there's no point simmering it on a stove for hours. No one does that. And I do mean nobody. So next we have our dough, and you can see it's nice and soft. When we press it, we get our finger marks in there. And because there's oil and everything on the dough, we don't have to worry so much about... Let me get that bowl out of the way, give myself some more room. Don't have to worry too much about it sticking. And if it sticks, it's actually going to help us a bit. So you can see I just squished the ball down to a flat disc. I'm just using my fingers to go around. And we're just going to stretch it a little bit. And you can see I'm just pinching and pulling. Pinching and pulling. Nothing. I'm not forcing anything here. So we have our basic round shape. Now, those who have been to New York will know the crust is thin. So you can see I keep going around. I'm stretching this dough out just by pressing on the edges. Trying to make it even. You can see this hasn't taken really any time. Now, a lot of people, you'll see, will start throwing it and everything. If you want to do that, feel free. It's not going to change anything. It's not going to give you a better pizza. It's not going to do anything, but it will impress your guests and your friends. Now, to make this just a little thinner, I'm not using a rolling pin, as always, just using whatever I have on hand. In this case, it's a bottle of spray oil. And this I'm just doing to thin out enough that I feel it's a consistent shape. So I just have the dough draped over my hand, and now we're going to get it onto our pizza tray. Again, we're going to stretch as we go. The mesh of the tray itself will help to hold everything in place. And if it's not 100% round, who cares? It's still going to taste really good. There we go. Was that so hard? We did it. Now we go back to our sauce. And this is where a lot of people tend to make a mistake. And that is they put on too much sauce for their pizza. I'm going to try to get a little bit more in there. There we go. And then they take that first bite and everything slides off. They have a pizza avalanche or a pizza topping slide. So to start off, I'm putting 2 tablespoons right in the middle. I'm just using my spoon. I want to do a thin layer all the way around. It doesn't take a lot. I'm just going to add a touch more. It doesn't take a lot, but it gives so much flavor because there's so much herbage in there. Now, if you don't like thyme, if you don't like basil, you don't like oregano, just make it with what you like. There's no law, you know. If you want to put fresh crushed garlic in there, go for it. I didn't, just because it's not going to be in the oven long enough to really cook. And I didn't want to heat up a pan and cook the garlic first and heat up the house even more. So we have our pizza and our sauce. And now we go for the cheese. Now this cheese I've grated myself. I had it in the freezer because it just makes it easier to work with. And again, start towards the middle and go around. There's no right or wrong. I'm just using a low moisture pizza mozzarella. Doesn't have to be anything fancy. And if yours doesn't specifically say low moisture, just look at the different mozzarellas that are available, and you'll see they pretty well all have a moisture content listed. Just pick the one that has the lowest moisture. So this one didn't have a moisture content. They didn't say low moisture, sorry. It's actually hard to say. It didn't say low moisture, but it's 14% moisture, so that's pretty low. And there we go. Believe it or not, that's the whole pizza. That's a New York slice. Now this is a lot smaller than they make in New York, of course, but it's got all the same components. Got a thin crust with an edge that's going to puff up a little bit. Got that herby sauce, a little bit of chili, and some mozzarella. Now, if you wanted to, there's nothing stopping you from adding some grated provolone, putting on some Parmesan, but always use real cheeses. Don't use that stuff that comes in a can. So, I have my oven set right now to 525. It's as hot as my oven is going to go. This is going to go on the lowest shelf that I can do close to the burner because I want the crust to cook. So it's going to take roughly 10 minutes, maybe a bit more, maybe a bit less depending on your oven. So check it after like 6 or 7 minutes in your setup. We're going to put this in the oven, we're going to let it cook, we'll take it out, and then we'll show you the final product. And of course, we're going to eat. We'll see you all soon. Hey everyone, we are back. This was 8 minutes at 525. I've got that nice crisp crust. My cheese is nice and brown. Got those bubbles. Unfortunately, I don't know where my pizza wheel went. So, we'll just use a knife. And there we go. Now, can we swap this around? And there we go. So, we have our slice. Now, this honestly did come out a little bit crispier than I wanted, just because it's the first time I've tried a pizza like this in this oven. So, next time, probably pull it out in about 5 minutes. But, it just looks so good. And the smell, I can smell the basil, the oregano, the thyme. Oh, anyways. Every flavor is there. I honestly feel like I've walked into a local shop, grabbed a slice, and it's just perfect. Now, you'll notice I'm not getting a cheese pull. Everything is staying on the pizza. And that's just because, first of all, the type of cheese we used. Second of all, you saw I didn't put a ton on. The cheese is there as a bonus. It's all about that sauce. But that's how good 5 simple ingredients can be. The pizza dough is the same pizza dough we've used in every other video. I'll be sure to link that in the description or put something up in the corner so you can see just how to make that dough. But there we go. I didn't time warp myself, but I transported myself back to New York for a slice. And it was the best thing ever. House is a bit hot because the oven was so hot, but the AC will hopefully kick in and cool that off soon. So, until next time, if you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. I'm making videos like this at least once a week. We also do food tastings, tasty testing videos. We try a bit of everything. So if you like what you see, hit that bell. This way you see when I come out with new content. If you're coming back to the channel, well, thank you. Make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and leave a comment down below if you would try this, if you like this type of pizza, or what you would like to see me cook next. So, until next time, my name is Andrew. I am the 5 p.m. chef, even though it's, well, just below. A little out of camera. And we shall see you all next time. Now it's time to finish off this pizza.